Hey, friends, and welcome to our very first podcast here on the channel. Got a really neat couple ladies I want to introduce y'all guys to. They are alumni with the Savanah State University in Georgia. It's an art school. I met both of them on a Instagram live that I just happened to join one night, and we have fast become friends. They kind of are on a mission, a little bit of a mission to kind of illustrate how important art is in our society and in our lives, and how it's something that can bring all of us together in our own hopes and dreams. Without further ado, I want to introduce you to my friend, Tiffany Wright. Hey, Tiffany, how are you doing tonight?
Hey Matt, hey everyone. Doing great. I'm excited to be able to have a conversation with you and your audience. I'm really honored to be here.
We are very honored that you are here as well, my friend. So, guys, the first time I met Tiffany, like I said, was on Instagram Live, where she and her friend Rudy King, both alumni with Savannah State University, are trying to raise awareness, basically, to the arts there in their school. And so, Tiffany, what is the base message that y'all guys have that people you want people to hear?
I think it's a two-part base message. The biggest thing is encouraging people to be intentional about supporting the arts in their community, especially if it is an arts program or an arts organization that is smaller. There's an additional set of challenges that comes with being a smaller arts organization, and I think there's maybe sometimes assumptions that there are more things that they have access to than they actually do. And I think it also the second part is with our school, it's so historic, and the arts program serves people that can't afford a fancier art school. And so sometimes, just like in life, if it's like a less prominent or smaller space, it's not that people are intentionally not trying to support it, but it just doesn't cross their mind. So it's like one of those things that you have to be intentional about, or you'll look up one day and it's no longer. And our arts program at Savannah State is in danger of that.
Wow. I think that's really good awareness. It seems like a lot of things that maybe we can take for granted and that are smaller and don't get as much media and everything can disappear simply because people don't know that they need the support, you know? And art is one of those things I think that people they don't realize really how important it is to keep it going. I think that art is such a large part of everyday life and community that that people can easily take it for granted, you know? Now, how did it come about? How did you and the rest of the alumni start realizing the need to have voice the need to support the art program there a little bit more?
So there were a couple of things. I think we have always known, based off of our experience when we attended Savannah State, that it's like, there's always that reputation of the arts kids or the weird kids, or they're always in their own building because, universities are divided into the colleges. So it's the College of Business, the College of Nursing, and we are in the arts building. Our arts building is the Kennedy Fine Arts Building. And all of your classes are usually there. And then after your classes, when everyone else is maybe in the social spaces of the school, you're still there because you're either working on a painting or you're rehearsing. So you kind of become in this little bubble. And so what happens is sometimes you don't have a lot of visibility on the campus. And if it's an extreme amount of lack of visibility, it can lead to issues like enrollment, which is what our program is experiencing. So the program has always had small numbers, but we noticed recently that they got even smaller, to the point that the school was now looking at, do we need this program? Are we going to keep this program? Is it going to be deactivated? Because, there's maybe um, 10 less than 10 people that are graduating a year. And so once we realized, and the students were very vocal, they actually did a march around the campus just to get that visibility and say, hey, this is what's happening to our program. Even if you are not in this program, if you have been touched by the arts, if you have enjoyed our gallery exhibits and our productions and our concerts and our band on campus, you know, walk with us and let's just make it known that our fellow Tigers, because our mascot is the Tigers, make it known that your fellow Tigers are standing with you. And so that got some media coverage on the campus, and it came to the attention of the other young lady you all will be speaking with, Rudy King, who had just returned from Africa, helping with an arts nonprofit over there. And she came back to Georgia at the same time that this happened. And so she felt very moved and very activated by that. And she got the contact information of the other alumni and reached out to us and said, hey, you know, it looks like the students, their morale is down. They're probably scared because this is, you know, their degree. They love their art so much that they wanted to get a formal education to add to their natural talent and passion. And that might be all going away. And so we need to make sure the students know that the alumni are here and find out what it is that they need and find out what the school needs. Because yes, the program's small, but is there something that we can do to not even just increase enrollment, retain the current students' enrollment so that they don't want to transfer out or change majors because they're worried about being able to continue this major? But also, how can we help them when they finish school with the knowledge that we've gained since we've graduated? So that the march really got it started. And then Rudy just took the reins and ran with it and really activated the alumni. So that's really how it all got started, which led to the live that you saw, because we were just having conversations about the importance of the arts and sharing our experience as artists during school and after school, and just talking about the importance of supporting smaller programs.
Yes. Okay, yeah. Wow. See, even like hearing that is really neat because it seems to me like all of this has kind of come about in the right ways. That like it's just the right people hearing at the right times and then the sense of community coming together. Starting with the students who realized that they needed a larger exposure, and then the support of the alumni coming in to help add to that, you know. I caught too how you were saying that like sometimes maybe there's only 10 people that will graduate, right? What I think is really interesting is though those numbers are small, the impact of what an artist can actually put out into the world and into society and change views and thoughts. I mean, think about through the cinema and through the arts and dance, etc., just how earth changing one person can be. A lot of the people actually throughout history who have made a change for the better have been little people who went through little programs who went out to do big things with their art, you know? And so it's so important that we keep this going, you know, in all forms. I also like the way you talked about your school. It gives opportunities to everyone. And so instead of having to have a lot of money or have a lot of background and stuff, it sounds to me that they really acknowledge the talent and the potential involved, you know. And also I'm struck by the idea too, like finding ways to give the artist after they get finished with school opportunities to get into a job through like networking, etc. Because I mean we all know the saying starving artist, you know. It's between you and me, I'm a starving artist right now. My art is more the cinema nowadays. Right out. So
Yes,
I grew up in
I love that.
Alaska
I
on a
love
little fishing boat. Thank you, Tiff. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's but you know, we persevere. You know, that's what artists are known for too. We can take a lot and keep moving forward. You know, but I grew up on a little fishing boat. It was about 52 feet long by about 12 or 13 feet wide, and so I lived on that until I was about 11 years old, and that was my world. So to I loved that world, but to get that escapism and activate my creative side and my imagination, I escaped with stacks of online paper and crayons and pencils where I would draw the world as I saw it and then escape into that. And so art has always had a real soft place in my heart. Also, I sent a lot of the people throughout history who I kind of admire have been artists, and so I think that it is really neat the way that we have come to meet each other too, and I've been able to kind of like add a little. All I want to do is add a little bit to your mission, which is simply awareness. Uh, is there now people we had talked previously about ways that people who are interested might be able to donate to the art program. And you told me that y'all were trying to get something established like through the college itself. Is there a way that people who are interested in supporting can maybe donate to the cause if there isn't some other way that they can support?
Right. So yes, donations are always helpful. We have partnered with, I shouldn't say partner because we're kind of acting as an organization within an organization because we're all alumni that have banded together on our own because we know that only other artists are really gonna go in and talk to the school and advocate. But we have partnered with the National Alumni Association, and so on their website, they're going to have a dedicated link that they have a donate link, but they're going to have a link just for this program so that people can donate. It would go towards art supplies. It would go towards their projects that they have to create while they're in school, whether they are tasked to do like a gallery exhibit and things like that, because schools always have a budget, but their budgets are based off of how many students they have. So we're at the public, we're at the Georgia University system, but the amounts of state funds, they are based off of numbers solely. That's it. And so then even within that, once the portion that comes to our school gets there, it goes out to the other programs based again on numbers. So even if there is funding, there's still ways that they would fall short, whether it's they don't have as many faculty members or the chair of our program, he's the arts administrator, but he's doing the job of three people. And so maybe some of the things that the students need just aren't, they can't all be a priority. And so if they need like support or they need someone to go out and do recruitment and he has 10 meetings, but so he can't go with them to go to the local arts high school or things like that. So that's why we feel so activated, because it's like we are going to have to fill in the gap and be the liaison, and whatever things that could potentially fall through the crack, we want to pick up for. And what does that mean for us? Not just the donations, like I said, which can go through the alumni website, and it would go directly to that program through the National Alumni Association of our school, but also networking, mentorships, internships, potential jobs. Because the thing is, we're in a city that has a large, very popular, very elite, very fancy art schools. So when people think of, oh, well, let me reach out to an art student for a job, or let me reach out because I need an intern. I need someone to, come in and help, or someone to come shadow me or be a stage or what have you. They are going to naturally go to the school that comes to their mind first, and they're gonna go to the school that is most visible, most popular. And so they would have to kind of go out of their way to think about our little school. And so what we want to do as alumni, Rudy and I, University alumni, we want to kind of help foster those relationships. So anyone we know, anyone if there's someone that has a gallery, or if there is like a booking agent, or just the things that maybe the small program administration office don't have time to set up those meetings and set up those relationships, or make their thesis of their art exhibit be just so well attended because they've had the time to make all these calls and send all these press releases and have this big rollout introducing them to the art society. Those kind of extra touches that are necessary, but maybe just a little bit and above and beyond the regular job requirements just aren't happening. So the enrollment is low. It's almost like a negative feedback cycle because
Right.
enrollment is low because people don't know about it. And people don't know about it because enrollment is low and there's not enough people to shout at the rooftops, come support this program, come offer this program internships. So if there's anyone in your audience that is in that realm or has connections or has spaces for internships for art students, they would love that. Or if there's anyone that's like, I'm already doing this professionally, and if they want to pick my brain and just ask me questions about, how much should I charge for this painting? Um, you know, how do I go about the booking process? That just to can kind of let them shadow them. They would love that. But again, donations are great as well. But just reaching out to not only our local community but the global community and saying, "Hey, these are talented kids. Resources are limited, and engagement with the area is low." And so just kind of spreading that net to see if the global community can help not just our school, but any small arts programs. But of course, I'm going to say my school. But the takeaway is no matter where someone in your audience is, I'm sure that there is some underserved art program of some kind that could use a little love. And so this is just a chance to kind of check in like, hey, I pass by this building every day. How are you guys doing? Is there anything I can do? Is there an event that I can support? Is there a connection I can set up for you? So that would be great.
Love that, Tiff. I really do. It's, I also love the way that like the perseverance of the smaller school. It's like you talk about the gentleman who's working basically three positions and how difficult that is, and then the ability for the
Mhm.
community, the alumni, anybody who actually is made aware to be able to jump in and just fill in these positions. I think that's what really speaks to community itself. It's not what can I do that will prosper for me? It's what can I do that will prosper for the community, on top of funding, because funding is very important, especially when we are a smaller organization, Uh, however, the networking I think is very awesome. And that's one of the reasons that I really wanted to have you on here because a lot of our audience is from all over the world. A lot of us can really relate to being the smaller people out there, who have to be very diligent with life, in order to succeed. Because, like you said, it's that feedback loop, right? It's small because there's not a lot of publicity. There's not a lot of publicity because it's small. So, like the way that you're banding together and you're pulling this network group is like the most important thing is to raise awareness to what's going on to further what's been going on, kind of. And I do know that there are like quite a few people in this audience here that we have. I call it a community. We've kind of built this community out here that's all over the world, and this is what we do. We kind of share with each other our difficulties, our hopes, our dreams, the things that we've overcome, in hopes that that spreads out. I love the way too that you say, not just for your school, for all schools, for all arts programs, but that your school is where we have to focus at the moment, right? That's what you're involved with, and therefore that's what we need to right now focus on, And so I just think that it's a really beautiful thing. I'm very interested in the networking, honestly, because little places that we have so much heart in, right? Once we're able to share that and raise the awareness, there are so many people out there that that's what they're looking for. They're looking for something meaningful that they can help support, that they're looking for places that it's not just give me your money, right? There's so many places out there nowadays that they're just looking for a paycheck, and I feel sometimes like they exploit the actual cause, right? And so that's why I've enjoyed finding your ladies, is because I know that this is a cause that is worth supporting, whether it's with money, with time, with awareness, simply by resharing one of your videos. That's what a large portion of the audience could do, just in support. I think that this is really neat. And I also really enjoy that this is the first podcast on the channel. I want to have you and Rudy back. Now, I really love that. There's another lady out there, guys. Her name is Margie. She does some really beautiful paintings and stuff. She does them on like live Instagram videos and stuff. I'd like to have her on at some point doing like maybe an entire segment, you know, kind of like her experience and all. So this has just been a lot of fun. Do you have anything else to add to the audience?
Um, well, I guess I didn't get to really share about me, so I'm probably like, who is this person as far as like, so I'm Savannah State alumni. I am a writer and a choreographer, so I like screenwriting and books as well. So author and writer, I should say. And I've been out of school for about a year and a half, so I'm in a really exciting stage because I'm finishing projects up. I'm working on filing my nonprofit status for my dance company because that's my other arm. I have the writing arm and I have the choreography arm. And so
So
my
cool.
company is Miss Devoted
That's
Tiff
just cool.
Productions. A two-arm creative. I am a writer slash author, I should say aspiring, and have a dance company because I'm a choreographer as well. And so I've been out of school for a year and a half now, and the arts have really touched my life because I'm actually a non-traditional student. The first time around, I got a biology degree. I lived a little and I was doing arts on the side. And then it just got to a point where I couldn't run from it anymore. And I decided to take it seriously. And that's why I went to Savannah State. So now that I'm out of school, those projects that I had on the shelf, I've been finishing them. I've been writing for the dance company. We've been performing locally and even got commissioned right out of school by the city of Savannah for one of their events. And I teach dance and acting as well. So for the dance company, I'm working on getting my nonprofit status because I would love to grow it. And those students, back to them, I want to be a kind of a pipeline where they graduate from Savannah State and then they come right over to be members of my dance company, or they graduate from the theater program and they come right over to my production company and they can be actors in some of my smaller projects. So it's a circle of life to be corny, but yeah, that's what I do, and guess now I'm an advocate for my program as well. And I was also going to say that Rudy will. Sorry.
Rudy?
I also wanted to say not only thank you again, but Rudy's going to pick up where I left off because not only have we come back to have meetings, but we've also created an event that we're going to come back and teach them how to network, teach them more advanced levels. We're calling it the SSU Arts Festival. Home is where the art is. And Rudy is the chair of that. So she's going to tell you more about that because we didn't want to just have meetings and talk about it. We wanted to do something active. And so we've called all the arts alumni that are successful out in the world to come back and just give them some love. The program review is in April, and this event is in April. And so no matter what happens with the program, even if it gets deactivated, we want them to know that they have the alumni. But hopefully it doesn't happen. Hopefully they give the program time to grow. Now that we're here, we're going to go do the recruitment events. We're going to go do all of that as alumni. But Rudy will tell you a lot more about that event. But we're really excited to kind of not take action as well. So, and I'm actually going to be teaching a couple workshops there. So I'm excited.
Wow, I can see why. That is very exciting. I was sitting here thinking as you were explaining all of that, that it's not just something that you're talking about, it's something that you're actually actively involved in, and how beautiful of a thing that is. It sounds to me like you've seen that there's an issue, you've seen where things can be made better, and then y'all ladies are jumping in to actually do the work rather than just talk about it. So in my heart, I believe that that right there is already success. And when we are successful in moving forwards with the faith and then the works at the same time, doing the thing, taking the next step, that's what actually will change things for the better. And I am certain that with y'all's ladies' energy, and also what you bring to the world, that you're going to be successful in saving the program, and probably growing your notoriety and all of the things that you need to be better seen in the world, you know? I'm really looking forward to getting to talk to Rudy. We're gonna shoot her half here in the next day or two, guys. So this has been a lot of fun. Now I've tried to think about the podcast. The most like I like the idea of being, semi-artistic myself. I like the idea of having like a trademark kind of thing
Not semi,
in the show.
very.
Ah, thank you. Yes. Question I'm gonna ask everybody now that I interview. I was wondering, Tiff, we're gonna start with you. What is your favorite superhero?
My favorite superhero is Spider-Man. I relate to him. I feel like he is was seen as the underdog. And a lot of my art advocates for people with layers, like someone can like opera and R&B. Someone can be from the city but appreciate the country. And people I feel like people there are a lot of people that are, I guess, a dichotomy, I guess you would say. And I loved that out of his clothes, he was, seemed like very just like lanky and not strong and just very regular. And I know all superheroes have that dichotomy, but I just really resonated with his story. And so, yeah, I feel like a Spider Man, in my regular day, people don't think much of me, but in my own ways, and by random accidents like a spider biting me, I can, do great things in my own way, still be flawed, but still have a passion to help people. So I would say my second runner up would be Black Panther.
Yes. Yeah.
What's
Very cool,
yours? Are
Tiff.
you going to
Totally
wait
cool.
until after all your guests say theirs?
I'm sorry, what's that?
What's yours? Or are you going to wait until all your guests say theirs?
You know what's mine? No, I like Batman, actually. I'm kind of Batman fan. I like him because the world crushed him and he could have easily turned into a bad guy, but instead he redirected it into a different direction. He has really good knowledge of himself as well as the world and the people in the world, and he tries to protect people. Plus he doesn't have any superpowers, so he's just a regular guy out there who,
Right.
he'll get his butt kicked, but he keeps getting back up. And also I like the way that he's kind of like he's the only superhero who he's really Batman. He's really Bruce Wayne. So like Superman is really Superman pretending to be Clark Kent, right? But Batman is really
Right.
Batman, and when he takes off the mask and stuff, he's pretending to be Bruce
Mm-hmm.
Wayne. So yeah, thank you for asking me
Yeah.
back, actually. Very much. Yeah.
That was a good answer. I really do thank you, Matt. You're such a beautiful soul. I've always felt that you have been, and then getting to know you, it just matches up. And I think it's a really beautiful thing you're doing. Just sharing your light with others and just continuing to encourage your audience and introducing them to people like me. So I wish you the best with this. I think it's going to be a great success because people get to see you in doses, but to see you in this element is like another layer of Matt. Matt the host, Matt the MC.
I feel that you are a really good friend. I appreciate having you in my life. Your mission, your personality, and the way that you think also adds to what I do and my mission. And being able to share you and your friendship with the rest of my friends is just a dream come true, really. I thank you so much for this interview and for being such a light out there in the world. So I can't wait till we get to doing our follow-up interview. And yeah, next we'll bring on Rudy, my friends. And I think that y'all guys are going to enjoy getting to know her too. So I'm not sure
Yes,
how
you
to do
will.
this. I think we're gonna just cut right here. Then we will jump back in with the second. Our friend Rudy King will be on next. Stay tuned, guys. Bye, Tiffany. Thank you.
Bye. Enjoy.
Bye. And bye.
We did it.